Hey, what's up everyone? This is Snackbox. Hope you all are having an amazing day, guys. In today's video, we have some great news for you. For one, there will be progressives, obviously, for this weekend, which I'm going to cover. And there will be a guaranteed event for HILVI. Yes, you heard me right. Absolutely amazing. But let's first cover the progressive events for this weekend. So this Friday, December the 19th, we're planning to launch a progressive chance event, giving you at least a 15x chance to summon the champions of your choice from the selected pool from Ancient, Primal, Sacred, and Void shards. First in line is Knut, one of the best enemy max HP hitters for PvE, absolutely amazing. Then we have Glaycat, absolutely amazing reviver with a damage multiplying passive, a lot of buffs. He can revive, nice champion. Blizzard, the Howler, also a very nice champion from the Ogryn's faction. I still use him to this day in Faction Wars Hard. He can lock out the enemy waves with freeze. He can decrease the turn meter. Absolutely amazing in my opinion for PvE content as well. Tatura, Rhymehide, has some interesting buffs and an interesting passive where he reflects damage. Glycea's Soul Guide, that was buffed recently. We got a rebalance for this champion. Pretty interesting. Aptoide Code, which got a waifu with the last batch of champions that got added, and now he might be back into the game. He was kind of like, you know, on the sideline watching what all the top tier champions are doing, but he might be back in there now if you pair him with his waifu HILVI, which we're going to talk about in a second. Then there will also be Lady Noelle, the partner of Sir Nicholas, also very strong now. Sir Nicholas got a very huge buff, which kind of has a downside as well, and I'm going to cover that in another video. And then we have Gergo, which is also a very strong champion for the Ogryns. For the epics, we have Cryodan, Neldor, and Durandil. So I think, you know, most of these champions are placing freeze somehow. So I guess that's the theme here. So I would say out of all of these champions, Knut and Tormin, or maybe Lady Noelle, are the most interesting ones. The epics are not that bad either for, you know, Fire Knight. If you're struggling with Fire Knight hard stages, Cryodan, Neldor, they can really help. Durandil can really hit hard. He can be your main DPS champion for Faction Wars Hard, for example. Just in general, he does have really high damage behind his skills. Now, in terms of the fusion events, we will have a Summon Rush this weekend, right? So the best way to get points for Summon Rush events is Sacred Shards. Now, in this Summon Rush event, there will be an epic champion, right? You can get an extra epic champion out of this Summon Rush event. Now, the question is, should you go for that? I would say no. And there is a reason for it. Basically, it will cost you, I think, around like 6,000 points. That's a lot of points that you need to get for this epic champion, but it allows you to skip 4 events and tournaments. If you just get the rare, you can't skip any of the other events and tournaments if you want to get this fusion. Otherwise, you won't be able to complete it. That is kind of the thing, and out of experience, most of the time when there was a Summon Rush event with an extra epic in the first weekend, there will be something that is super interesting and you maybe don't want to skip on the Champ Chase tournament. That was like 99% of the time the case, whether it's a Hero's Path for a Soul or a Titan Path event or something similar that makes you open your shards anyway. Because, you know, the first event and tournament you want to skip when you get the extra epic from the Summon Rush is the following Champ Chase tournament. So keep that in mind if you plan on going for the extra epic from the Summon Rush event. I would definitely advise you not to do that. Just get the rare, put some extra energy in on the other events, right? On the Gear Hunters events. It's not that bad. You can definitely do it if your account is progressed and you can farm stage 20. It shouldn't be a problem with all the free energy. Obviously, it is some extra time that you have to invest, right? It's a little bit more grindy, but I think in the end it pays off, especially with the, you know, whatever event or tournament is coming simultaneously with this Champion Chase tournament. So I'm gonna, you know, stick to my plan, just get the rare from the Summon Rush event. I won't open that many shards trying to minimize the amount of shards I use for this fusion. I rather use more energy. And speaking of which, now let's actually talk about the most important and interesting part of this video and the news. And on Monday, December the 22nd, we're planning to launch a Yuletide Deck of Fate event where you'll have a chance to obtain HILVI, the Rhyme Code, and other valuable goodies. So HILVI will be the guaranteed. We had some speculations going around who's going to be the guaranteed legendary champion from the next deck. And here is the answer. It will be HILVI. It is not Red Hope. And this is how you can earn points. So you can earn points by summoning souls from soul stones, like expected, and getting artifacts and accessories. So that's pretty much like a Gear Hunters event at the same time. Now, during this event, you will be able to collect champion fragments for HILVI. 30 fragments under 10 green cards, 40 fragments under 8 rare cards, and 30 fragments under 3 epic cards. So in theory, if you open up those 21 cards, right? It's only 21 cards, like a little bit more than half of the deck. I know it's not going to happen, but if you happen to get all the fragments, you can theoretically stop flipping cards, stop getting points, and just move on, right? But I rarely see it. Most of the time, people have to flip at least like 35 cards to get the rewards that they want and flip all epic cards and so on. So yeah, that was, I think, the minimum that I saw. So most of the time it will be like 38, 39, or you have to flip the whole thing. Now the pinned rarity will be disabled for this event. You won't be able to pin the rarities and guarantee you epic chests. It's not going to happen. But as expected, that's always, or I think most of the time, the case for guaranteed Deck of Fates, that you can pin the rarities, which is okay, I guess. You already get a guaranteed legendary, right? And yeah, this event will last for 96 hours. So basically, you will have 4 days of time to use energy to get artifacts and accessories for, you know, the Gear Hunters part of this event, and get a bunch of points that way. So I hope you got your soul stones saved up, because this champion is definitely one of those that you don't want to miss. Very great kit. We're going to talk about it in a second as well. I just want to point out that on Monday, there will be nothing else left for the fusion. We will go out of the fusion with another Gear Hunters event, which is very, you know, energy heavy, right? It's going to end on Monday, and probably as soon as the Spider Tournament and Gear Hunters event stops, that's when the guaranteed Deck of Fate will start. Now, let's take a look at this champion. I mean, you've probably seen already some testing, maybe, and people talking about the kit, but I think this is a very, very strong champion. The main reason why I say this is this skill right here, regardless if you pair her with Tormin or not. Obviously, with Tormin, she gets a lot better and makes Tormin a lot better, but this skill right here is very unique because you have an AoE revive. It's a 4-turn cooldown, but you have an AoE revive, and you place block damage for 1 turn and increase speed on all allies for 2 turns at the same time. You can also place these buffs even if no allies were revived, and if no allies were revived by this skill, also fills the turn meters of all allies by 25%. She has 110 base speed, which is pretty fast, so theoretically she could be your speed booster, right? Theoretically she could be your speed booster. Obviously there are champions with 115 speed, which is, you know, a little bit more, but block damage on a speed boost, on a turn meter boost, that is pretty damn amazing, as well as an increased speed buff. And you boost 25%. The biggest turn meter boost we have, like for all allies, is 30%, right? Arbase, Arbiter, and so on. Then Lamassu has this single turn meter boost with, you know, 50%, but, you know, this is probably the next best thing. And might be even better because you place that increased speed at the same time. So this might be the strongest, you know, AoE turn meter boost that we have at the moment, right? As well as the block damage on top. That means if you have a nail in the enemy team or a Vulcanos, it doesn't matter because you just block all the damage from the HP burns and the poisons with the block damage. So I think this champion is very, very strong. Also, if you revive your champions, I don't know if maybe you face some nails in arena, but for example, if you revive them with a Galateer that is placing Veil, when he revives, you will get instantly poisons on your champions when you revive them, and you basically can't revive your champions, right? Because they will die instantly again as soon as they take a turn. Now with this revive, they won't, right? Because they have that block damage, so they can at least survive another turn unless that block damage gets removed or something. So this is a very, very strong revive, turn meter boost conditionally, and just in general, 2 very strong buffs. Also not bad maybe for Chimera, who knows? We will see if there's a comp we can figure out. And on top of that, she also has an all battles speed aura 19%, not bad. Decreased defense on the A1 on a reviver, quite interesting, isn't it? And then you have, you know, the buff removal and the freeze on the A2. And you cannot lock this skill out, right? So overall, I think this is a very, very strong champion for PvE, for arena. It doesn't matter. It's a very, very strong support reviver. And it doesn't matter if you end game, early, mid game, whatever, super whale, you might want to have this champion. Even if you don't have Torment. I don't have Torment, and I'm still going to go for this champion because she has a very unique kit and does things that no other reviver does. So yeah, very happy about this one. I have a few Mortal Soul Stones saved up, a couple of Immortal Soul Stones. So how many Soul Stones will this deck cost? Obviously, we always need to get like 40k points, right? 40k points, that is the usual thing that we have to do, like 1k per card that we flip. And the most expensive deck that we had so far was the one for Freya. There we got 60 points for Mortal Soul Stones, 600 for Immortals, and I think it was 3k for Eternal Soul Stones, and that is quite expensive, so it might be the same here. I don't know if that's going to be the case, but it can, you know, vary from this, you know, in the worst case scenario, to like 80, 90 per Mortal Soul Stone, 800, 900 for Immortals, and then 4,000, 4,500 in the best case for Eternals. So yeah, we will have to see, right? We don't know the exact amount of points we get for the for the Soul Stones in general, but it might be quite expensive because this champion is really, really strong. So yeah, I'm definitely going to open up my Soul Stones. Like I said, I also have a couple of coins saved up, so I'm definitely going to be able to complete it, but I want to do a huge chunk with energy as well, and I hope, you know, there will be some other events simultaneously, maybe some artifact drop events like, I don't know, 3x Savage. I mean, we just had it, but maybe 3x Speed or something that makes sense at the same time. So hey guys, I think that's been pretty much it for this video. Let me know in the comments below if you are going for HILVI as well. I would definitely recommend you to do so if you can. If you plan on buying some Soul Stones for it, make sure to use my Aptoide code to save you some cash back and also support me. Good luck on your shard pools on the weekend. And with that being said, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you enjoyed, please hit the like button. Also, subscribe to the channel if you want to see more raid content. The YouTube algorithm is going to suggest you a video that you might like right here, and see you in the next one.